The Rosie and Bill Show wish to thank our partners and Positivity primary sponsors.
The Roselli Agency, based in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Brian and his team of insurance professionals have been serving the needs of Chester County for more than 2 decades.
The Mallon Agency, located in Springfield, PA, where they take pride in tailoring the right insurance policy for the right client and exceeding expectations every time.
Drowning out the noise, 'cause I can't hear my own voice. I just wanna head home. Look, don't wanna be here. I'm ready to go. Not into this, not into this tonight. Oh, not feeling this, not feeling this tonight.
Welcome, everyone, to the Rosie and Bill Show. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to welcome amazing guests from across the country and around the world. And tonight, we're thrilled to welcome a talented, incredibly talented artist from Australia. Now, she may come from the land down under, but she's winning over fans everywhere she goes. Please welcome to the Rosie and Bill Show, Tayiha. Tayiha, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you guys for having me.
We're so excited, Tayiha. So tell our fans, where exactly are you in Australia?
Brisbane, Queensland, so the sunny state. Yeah.
I believe I have a friend from there because
Oh.
that sounds very familiar. Her name is Laura Sullivan, just in case she was a guest on our show.
Okay.
So let's before we get into everything, I'm just curious because you look pretty young to me. When did you start singing? When did you know? Did you just come out of the womb singing?
Pretty much, actually. I started like performing when I was like 6 years old and have been writing music since I was about 8. So I don't know, it was kind of like I was singing before I could actually like talk. I think I've just always sort of been interested in it, and yeah, I've just always been a performer. I remember when I was like 5, I put out my first YouTube video and I got my mum to record me singing Justin Bieber, and that's still on the internet. I don't know how to get that down, but I don't know, it's kind of just always been music, and it's really been the only thing that I've been naturally like good at. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, but music sort of stuck with me. So.
And what was your parents' reaction to that? Did they support this journey for you?
100%. We definitely have musicians sort of on my dad's side of the family, but no one in like my immediate family is musically talented. So I think it was sort of a shock. I think they wanted my brothers to be into it. They put them in drum lessons and guitar lessons, but I think they're pretty happy with it. I mean, music is a cool thing and everyone loves music, so.
That's for sure, Tayiha. Now, if I heard you correctly, I think you said you started writing songs when you were 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did really well in a pretty prestigious songwriting competition when you were 14. So that means you were a veteran by then. Well, by the time you were 14, right? So what was that experience like, and how did that impact you as a young songwriter?
It was really cool. I think one of my biggest things is like people listening to my lyrics and like actually like taking a song and not just, oh, like this is catchy and this is cool and this is a pop song, and but I really do appreciate when people take the time to actually look into it and dig into what I wrote it about. And I think when I got sort of, I guess, credit for that, it was really nice, and it was really nice to sort of have that side of things brought up, and people be like, this is cool and your lyrics are cool and they're good, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it's just nice to sort of have my lyrical side of stuff and my songwriting side, because I think that's, to me personally, that's the most important part of my music, and it's the part that I love the most. So
Who were your influences growing up in Brisbane?
I listen to a lot of people like outside and sort of in Brisbane based. I listen to Jessica Mauboy, Alicia Keys, Jordan Sparks. But the first ever song I performed was like Katy Perry. So, but yeah, I listen to a lot of like um, even like 80s music, like Bryan Adams. Like my dad sort of, he had all those like 80s CDs, so we listened to a lot of that. And my mum loves country pop, so I just sort of been influenced by everything. It's a really good thing, but sometimes it's kind of a bad thing, because I'm like, I'm sort of, I don't know if I'm a pop artist. I don't know if I want to just go into country. I don't know if I want to like put out a rock song, because I think I just like, I have so many different influences from different like genres and different sort of spans of music. So it's a good thing and a bad thing, but yeah.
Well, you definitely have a very cool vibe.
Thank you.
As I was listening to some of your music, and I was going to ask you, how would you describe yourself as an artist? So it sounds like you're still exploring.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just because I'm still so young. Like I'm only 17, so I'm still kind of growing up a little bit and exploring myself, which obviously has an influence on me as an artist. And I think all artists can say this and relate to this, where you go through just phases and you go through changes, and like with your music and with you as a person, and maybe you write a song that 2 years later you don't relate to. And I think it's just, yeah, I'm just going through phases at the moment. And I from the beginning though, I do know who I am, and I always like to keep to my roots. And but with sort of what I'm interested in the music that I listen to, like I listen to a lot of rap music, but that's only been like a recent thing. I didn't listen to a lot of rap music when I was a kid, so it's like it's confusing sometimes, but it's really nice, because I don't feel like I'm being stuck in a box and kind of put there and told that
Right.
you have to be a pop artist, or you have to put out this type of music, or it has to be a love song, or if I don't want to write a love song, I don't have to. And I think that's sort of the good thing about being independent as an artist, 100%.
In this day and age, do genres even matter?
To me, no. I think maybe to some people, I feel like I'm sure there's some people that, I mean, I've heard people say they hate country, or they hate rock music. So I guess in that sense, maybe. But I don't know. I think it's, to me, like it's a cool thing to be able to put out such different music and sort of play around with it, and like I said, not be sort of stuck in a box. But I don't know. I think as a generation we go, we sort of there's it's so broad, and what you hear on the radio isn't always the same anymore. And I feel like maybe back in the day it used to sort of be just pop music purely, on the radio. But now it's like there's indie bands, and there's rock, and stuff that you, I guess, wouldn't really put in the box of pop music. But like I said, pop is very broad, and I feel like pop music is just popular music, so it's just what people like. And I don't know, everyone's liking different things nowadays. And I think that's it's a really cool thing, especially as an artist. So,
And you just made a great point. The pop stands for popular. That is, that really is, it really is kind of that simple in a way, yet sometimes things get complicated when it's really just good music is good music. And speaking of good music, one of your music videos for Not Feeling This was featured on MTV Upload. So how cool was that?
That was really cool. I watched MTV when I was a kid, and I always saw it on the TV. So yeah, it was really cool. I like had it on the television, and I was like recording myself, and it was just a really cool experience. And I mean, I think it's a really good video. I think probably one of my favorites. I think it's a really good song. It was very different to what I was used to writing. I put out that song, and then I put out you know, like Drifting Away, which is a very ballad, and but yeah, it's a very it's a cool video, and I think it's very like trendy, and with MTV, like I said, I watched that when I was a kid, so it was pretty cool to see my face on it. But
Do you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on MTV, like I have arrived? What is that mean?
pretty much, it's a very surreal feeling, like I don't know, it's I kind of dialed down a bit with you know, being like extremely like excited about it, like now I'm like, okay, it's cool, next thing. But but no, it was a really cool experience, and I think it's really cool especially for like my videographer to sort of get credit for that as well, because he's done all my music videos since I was 15, so and we work together on ideas for them, and um, I think it's cool when music is put into video form, because a lot of people need that, and a lot of people sort of are visual learners, and the way that they see something, or the way that they can see what's inside my brain is through a video. And I think that's what's cool, because if you don't understand maybe what a song is about that I've written, or you know, you want more detail on it, watch the video, because it's probably sometimes it's like it has nothing to do with what I wrote it about, but most of the time it has sort of elements of it. So
Well, and I'll tell you real quick, one other thing about that video, it had the world's longest microphone cord. I wanted to know, where does that cord end and what's it plugged into? That was the coolest thing. It was a great song and a great video, but I was really intrigued by that.
it actually, it wasn't supposed, I wanted like a portable sort of like Bluetooth
but it was
one.
cool. I loved it.
But it's literally just the one that I have in my music room right now. We just took it to the little lake and recorded there. But I think it fit in kind of well. I think
It
it's
really
kind
did.
of interesting. Yeah.
Tayiha, I'm curious, how has this success so far affected your personal life? Like in regards to your friends, what do they think about it? Are you more reclusive because you're focusing more? Do you still have a social life? Has it affected the normalcy of your life?
I'd say yes and no. I feel like a lot of things have sort of stayed the same. My friends are very supportive, and they're always like, "I'm friends with a famous person," and but yeah, I think you know, I still go out and have a life, and I think if I didn't, it would have an impact on my music, because I wouldn't have anything to write about, because I wouldn't be experiencing stuff, and I wouldn't be you know, just going into like the real world. And I feel like if I put myself into my room for, you know, months, I mean, to be fair, we did do that during quarantine, and I did put out music during that time, but I think it's not as personal, and I think as artists we have to sort of go through stuff to then write about it, to then have other people relate to what we're talking about, because they've also been through that, but they can't write a song, so we're the ones sort of doing it for them. But yeah, my social life is still good. And like I said, my friends are very supportive about it, and they're always uploading me on their socials. And I recently did a little photo shoot with my best friend. She does like photography and stuff. So, and it was kind of content for both of us, but it was also like hanging out and, you know, having a nice day. And I think that's what I like about it. And that's why I always like to work with people I actually like being around. So, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's good to get a good team together as well as friendships. And you're right, songwriters are kind of the voice for society, like you said. And so it is important to get out there in the flow and pulse of life to experience things and be inspired. Now, you did record your latest single, What I Needed, from your home. And I have to tell you, it sounded fantastic. What was that process like?
It wasn't planned at all. My producer got COVID like a couple days before I was supposed to go over to a studio, and we sort of just had to improvise, and he pretty much shipped everything out on like an Uber. And I was studying sound production at that time, so I kind of knew a little bit how to plug everything in, but he definitely walked me through it. But it was set up in this room, and I remember I put down some blankets to sort of isolate the space and isolate like the curtains and stuff, and yeah, set it all up. There was a lot to do, and then it was sort of I had his laptop and I opened his laptop and he controlled it from his side, so it was kind of interesting. I don't know. I was like, I never knew that people did it like this. I always had that like idea. It's just like going to a studio and the producer does it with you right there. But we were on call the entire time, and it was a very cool experience. But I don't know. I still like going to the studio. I still like sort of being in a different space. But yeah, it was really cool. But my I had a lot of like, you know, I live with like 3 older brothers, so and a very loud dog. So it wasn't too good, but you can't hear it in the recording, so it's fine.
No.
It's all good. But yeah,
Well,
it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, however you did it, it's really a great sound. No one would know that it wasn't recorded
tell.
in the most
Yeah.
magnificent studio anywhere, because the sound really is incredible, Tayiha, I have to tell you. And I just had one last question for you, and that is, you know, we recently flipped the calendar into 2023. So as an artist and as a person, what would it take for 2023 to be successful for you? And are they different things, whether it be as an artist or as a person?
That's a really good question. I would say as an artist, probably I mean, I've sort of done demos and stuff, and like I said, I did sound production, so I was doing sort of self-produced stuff, but I feel like if I leaned more into that side of things, I really want to like make a bunch of demos and sell them would be kind of cool. Songs that I wouldn't put out, or songs that I wouldn't like sing, or that I don't relate to anymore. So yeah, like definitely self-producing my own stuff. And then with personal life, ooh, like just be sort of motivated, and I don't know, just living sort of a healthier lifestyle, and I'm going to uni soon, so hopefully that goes well. But I'm studying journalism, completely different to music, but just I think personal and with my artist, balancing everything, just learning sort of to balance stuff, because I think I get distracted very easily, and I think I need to sort of have a better time management with personal stuff and my artist stuff. So I think just learning to balance is probably would be a successful year.
Well, you mentioned going, you know, to the uni. What else would you like people to know about you that they may not know or may not have read?
I don't know, like I'm just a normal sort of person, and I have a bunch of hobbies, and I like, you know, boating, and I like going to the beach and working out and doing just sort of normal stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing that I want people to know, is that I am normal as well, and I have problems in my life, and I go through stuff that you go through, and you know, I have other interests, and my life isn't, although it is music based, I do like to explore things. I do like to try new things. I love to cook. I don't like when people sort of like it. I've repeated this like a million times, but I don't like when people sort of put me into just a tiny little box, and you know, sort of tell me who to be, because I'm interested in a lot of stuff. Like I like politics. I like this, and you know, with journalism, obviously, I like. I've always been interested in doing that. So yeah, I'm just a normal person. I have a lot of different hobbies and a lot of different things that I'm interested in.
And you're still figuring it all out, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is what you should be
100%.
doing at 17 years old.
Yeah, you don't need to
Right?
have it all figured out. No, no.
Well, Tayiha, this has been wonderful getting to know you. We really appreciate it. And your music is terrific. And we
Thank you
expect
so much.
to see a lot of success for you. And we wish you all the best. Thank you for
Thank you,
taking your
guys.
time to chat with us and
That's all good.
let, well, everyone around the world, but especially in the United States, since that's where we're based, to
Yeah.
be introduced to your music.
hopefully. I am going to the United States next year though, so hopefully I have some music stuff lined up over there, and hopefully I'll have some more new fans. But yeah, thank you guys again. It was really fun.
Well, if you come to the East Coast, we are here and we'll come and see your show.
Okay.
In person.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tayiha. And
Thank
folks,
you.
thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
When the lightning hits all the lines, we will make our way through the wires. I'm starting to think that this will turn out alright. Free falling before I met you, both feet on the ground, so let's put down some roots. I'm already in every time I look at you. When the fear goes away in the sky, it all fades, the storms and the rain. This love's gonna rock the river, now I see it, you're what I needed. Everything makes sense when I'm with you, I believe it, you're what I needed. Let's just take our time, leave it all behind. I don't ever need a second guess this, 'cause I'm already yours, always will be mine from the first minute. You're what I needed. You're what I needed. I'm learning to live my life slow and taking these moments, don't ever let go. Who I really am, you're the only one that's ever known. When you look at my soul through my eyes, you know what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to hide. I'm no longer cynical, you're making me feel alive. When the fear goes away in the sky, it all fades, the storms and the rain. This love's gonna rock the river, now I see it, you're what I needed. Everything makes sense when I'm with you, I believe it, you're what I needed. Let's just take our time, leave it all behind. I don't ever need a second guess this, 'cause I'm already yours, always will be mine from the first minute. You're what I needed. You're what I needed. Baby, if we keep this here, hold me near. Oh, know you'll be there, drying up my tears. It's all clear. Oh, this love's gonna rock the river, now I see it, you're what I needed. Everything makes sense when I'm with you, I believe it, you're what I needed. Let's just take our time, leave it all behind. I don't ever need a second guess this, 'cause I'm already yours, always will be mine from the first minute. You're what I needed. Whoa, I was on it from the beginning, yeah.